Okay, YouTube, I'm not really one for long introductions, but I feel like I have a lot to say before we dig into the review of this Tarte Big Blush Book 3. So make sure, if you just want to watch the review, look in the description box below. I'll have a timestamp so you can skip to it. Today I am reviewing the Tarte Big Blush Book 3, which retails for $60. It is the third in a series that has a little bit of controversy associated with it. So I do want to start by telling you guys the backstory on this blush palette. 2 years ago, Tarte released Big Blush Book 1. It was a massive success. Everybody said it was really, really good, and considering that the price per blush in this format is $7.50 each, that's pretty stellar when you compare that to the $29 that each blush retails for. And indeed, there are 8 full-size products in this palette. Since Big Blush 1 was such a success, the following year Tarte released Big Blush Book 2, and a lot of people were really disappointed. According to other people, not myself, I didn't buy either one of these. The product was patchy, it was made in China, which was kind of a dead giveaway that its quality would not be the same as the Tarte blushes that are made in America. Whereas Tarte Blush Book 1 was made in the USA, and perhaps, whether true or not, you could think that the quality would compare. So this is indeed the third in the series. This is also made in China. I think a lot of people pretty much expect it to be as poor in quality as the second one supposedly was. My deal, the reason that I went for this is that I'm one of those people who likes to give others a second chance. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but, you know, whether it's a person or a company, I do believe companies act in the same way as people a lot of times. They can make mistakes, and they can learn from them and do things better next time around. And I think a lot of people hoped that this would be made in the USA because of it, but if you're really realistic, a lot of products are made in China, and the quality varies so much depending on which factory is chosen. But realistically, that's only a part of why I went for this. I wouldn't have just gone for a palette hoping that it was made better. I went for this because I absolutely love the colors in this particular palette. So this year, they've gone for a much more warm-toned color scheme than they have in the past. And to me, this is something that I didn't feel like I have in my collection, especially from the picture on the website. I felt these were significantly brighter and something new. And because of that, I was willing to throw down the $60 and give it a shot because I am a blush fan. I'm a really big blush fan. To me, if foundation is your base and lipstick is your cornerstone, eyeshadow is where you do your self-expression. It's where you show the world who you are, and blush is where you show the world how you are. Whether you choose light springtime colors to give an attitude of playfulness, whether you're going for bright colors to show that you're vibrant, or a more earth tone scheme to go for an air of sexiness, I really feel like blush conveys your energy. So again, I really did want to spend some time with this palette before I just came on camera to give you guys a review, because I feel that you can swatch blushes, but you don't really know how they are going to perform until you use them. So I have used all of the colors in this palette. I'm going to go ahead at the end of this video and show you guys a couple of looks that I made with it. But I will tell you guys the pros and the cons of this palette. First off, let me tell you, the colors are not as bright as they show on the website. They're really not. They're still brighter, I think, than the other two palettes. Again, I don't have those to compare. But these are somewhat bright colors and not as bright as seen on the site. Now that'll be a benefit for a lot of people. Not everybody's really into the super bright blush, and it'll be a con for other people. But that said, I am currently wearing the shades Heated and Peachy, which are two of the main reasons I bought that. This one is Heated, and this one is Peachy down here. And I absolutely love these colors. I am very happy with them. They are pretty much the driving factor in me purchasing this, so I'm very happy that I was able to get 2 blushes that I absolutely love. Now, that said, it did cost me $60, so I'm basically paying for 2 full sizes that I loved, and getting a whole lot more. For me, it's kind of worth it. I like a lot of the other colors, but in my personal opinion, the rest of these colors I do feel that I own elsewhere. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on swatches, but I am going to show you guys them just so I can tell you my experience with each one of these shades. So starting with Heated, which is the one that I used as my base today, I am very pleased with this shade. I think it performs extremely well. I wish it was a little bit brighter, but all that said, I'm very, very pleased with the look. It's a fantastic blush. Now next up is Lavish. Lavish is okay. It's a little bit too neutral for me personally, but I could see people enjoying it. It's not an overkill type of blush. I could see how you would like it. Next one is Poised, which is this slight springtime pink. I'm disappointed with this color. I think it performs patchy. You can even see in my swatch that it faded very, very quickly as I applied it. All of these are one swipe, no primer under. Next up is Mindful. Mindful is okay, but a little bit too light for my tastes. Then we have Peachy. Peachy is what I have as a topper over Heated today, and I am pleased with that one as well. Next up is Rad. Rad is okay. I used Rad as a base in a look that I'm about to show you soon. It's okay. Then we have Kindred, which I actually liked. I liked Kindred more than I thought I would, considering it is an earth tone. I think it is very solid, not patchy at all. I am pleased with that one. And then last we have the highlighter, which is called Spirited. I don't know how much you can see it. I'm actually going to go ahead and give a second swatch on that one. I don't like it at all. I think it is very prone to showing the texture on your skin. I used it once. I don't think I'll ever use it again. That's a bit of a miss for me, but I think it'd work well if you are, you know, under 20 and have perfect skin. I think you're either going to love or hate the packaging that this comes in. It is a simple styrofoam. It doesn't feel sturdy at all, but because it is so easy to bend, that's why it's also so easy to pop out each one of these blushes. And what's nice about this is you can take any of these blushes, pop them into a Z palette, and take with you the blushes that you enjoy, or take out of here the ones that you are going to use and kind of ditch the rest, which I have a feeling is what's going to end up happening with me since, as I've said before, I really love 2 of these blushes and I like a couple more, but really I love 2 of these blushes. Now all of these are full-sized, and again, as I already stated, they're made in China. We don't know how much they compare, but I'm about to compare them. So I want to put these to the test. I pulled out a regular Amazonian Clay 12-Hour blush from Tarte that is indeed made in the USA, and this is in the shade Natural Beauty. This happens to be one of my favorite blushes ever, and my favorite blush from Tarte. It is this gorgeous rose pink, never patchy, super easy to work with. And what we're going to do is we are going to swatch this guy. And then next to that, I'm going to go ahead and swatch the shade Rad from the Tarte Blush Book 3. This is also a matte. That's the reason I chose it. It's not going to be the same color, but I'm hoping to see how it compares in terms of swatches. So something I noticed in comparing these swatches, this one is the regular blush, and you can see it kind of holds its color all the way down, whereas this one started to fade on me. Now that's just one swatch, but as somebody who did play around with both of these shades, I'm not actually surprised to see that, because like I said, this Rad blush did go a little patchy on me. Not terribly, not the worst blush I've ever used by far, but it definitely had a tendency to go more patchy than my Natural Beauty blush. So I just tested my theory and I went ahead and did some swatches of the colors that I really enjoyed. This is Kindred, which is that beautiful earth tone, and then this is Heated. Look at that, those both hold up their color a lot more like Natural Beauty than the one from this palette that I didn't like. So in my personal experience with using this palette, just to recap, I thought that these 3 going across are not the best. You can still work with them, they'll still give you pretty colors, but you'll have to spend more time evening out the patchiness. The ones that I loved, again, were Heated, Kindred, and Peachy. I think those are unique to my collection. I'm very happy with how they look on. I'm very pleased with the pigmentation. So as for whether or not I recommend this palette, this is a common story. I recommend this for some people and not everyone. The reason I don't recommend this for everyone is pretty simple. I think that a lot of the colors that I did enjoy using, those more earth tone ones, are extremely dupeable. I think you can find colors like Kindred mindful and lavish in a lot of other blushes. However, I do think that Heated and Peachy are really quite unique. I think that Rad and Poised are also pretty dupeable, and for me it's not a big loss that they didn't work out as well for me because I'm pretty sure I have similar blushes to those. I would say if you're into draping and if you're into brighter colors, this is a good palette to own because, again, those colors that worked so well for me aren't that common. They are harder to find, and having them together in one palette is something that I do appreciate, plus the fact that I can easily take these out and put them elsewhere. I wanted to add one other thing. This shade right here, Heated, this one, did have a lot of fallout for me. Fallout in blush isn't something that bothers me, but it did happen, and it did travel down into my highlighter. Now, since I hate the highlighter, and realistically speaking, I'm never going to use it again, it's not a big deal for me, but if that is something that's a big deal for you, you might already want to depot these. But honestly, I didn't have that problem with any of the other shades. It's just Heated did have a little bit of fallout for me. And final note, I had a lot more success using a natural bristle brush with these than I did synthetics. I don't know if a lot of people are going to be bothered by that. You can use any type of brush. I used Real Technique brushes. I used IT Cosmetics brushes. I used everything with these. And you can make any of the brushes work with any of the blushes. It's just that in terms of ease, some are better than others. Alright guys, that is my review of this palette. I'm going to real quickly show you guys a couple more looks that I made using this. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, you know what to do. Give it a like, hit subscribe. I've got some really good giveaways coming up. You don't want to miss them. Thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy the rest of this video.